From world events to Washington and New York City, here's your concise world update for Monday, December 29th. President Trump and Zelensky made progress toward a proposal to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Well, thank you very much. We had a terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things, and I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close.
We discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have great achievements, 20-point peace plan, 90% agreed, and U.S.-Ukraine security guarantees, 100% agreed.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in Florida on Sunday ahead of a scheduled meeting with Donald Trump. The talks are expected to focus on Gaza, Iran, Lebanon, and the U.S.-Israel Security Assistance Framework, which is approaching a deadline for finalization. Australia is weighing whether to deploy the military to help protect Jewish sites as authorities ramp up security nationwide in the aftermath of the deadly Bondi terror attack. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said Saturday that Iran is effectively at war with the United States, Israel, and Europe months after Donald Trump ordered strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. FBI Director Kash Patel said Sunday that the Bureau has deployed agents and investigative resources to Minnesota to dismantle large-scale fraud schemes exploiting federal programs. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement has moved away from focusing on arresting migrants at local jails to tracking them down in communities. As the Trump administration presses to increase deportation, Sunny Isles Beach is part of a growing number of municipalities expanding drone use beyond search and rescue missions. Some departments are now using them to enforce ordinances, monitor traffic, and even issue citations, reducing the need for routine patrols. An Oklahoma man has been charged with first-degree manslaughter after authorities say a stray bullet fired from his backyard struck and killed a person several blocks away. President Donald Trump said he expects the 2026 midterm elections to hinge on prices and the cost of living, expressing confidence that voters will respond positively to what he describes as steady economic improvement under his administration. Vice President J.D. Vance plans to crisscross the country ahead of the 2026 midterms, staying tightly aligned with Donald Trump while quietly laying groundwork for an expected presidential run 2 years later. Kennedy and other Trump officials balk at requests to testify on Capitol Hill. Democrats have suggested the lack of testimony is yet another way the administration is snubbing the legislative branch. Democrats are accustomed to losing in rural America, especially to Donald Trump. Now they're hoping the president's own policies might prove to be the leverage they need going into next year's midterms. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is expected to veto a large slate of city council legislation in the final days of his administration, setting up a consequential end to his term marked by sharp policy disagreements with lawmakers. One person was killed and another critically injured after 2 helicopters collided mid-air and crashed Sunday morning in New Jersey. Social media platforms that use features such as infinite scrolling, autoplay, and algorithm-driven feeds will be required to carry warning labels about potential risks to young users' mental health under a new New York law. A 15-year-old was killed and another teenager wounded after gunfire broke out inside a Bronx apartment building Saturday evening. Most Jews left the country for Israel after 1948. Today, the small Jewish community and the Muslim population live side by side, despite the emotional fallout from the war in Gaza. Investors are hoping the U.S. stock market finishes 2025 on a strong note in the final trading days of the year, with equities sitting at record highs and edging closer to fresh bullish milestones after another solid annual run. Tens of thousands of imports and other goods shipped to the United States aren't just being stopped at the border. Some are being destroyed. From the Middle East to Wall Street, you're up to date.